What's up, guys? This is Turtles Impact, episode 11. We're interviewing Raymond Terry. Dude's a badass. He's got a band, he's a athlete, and he's a coach. Hell of a strength and conditioning coach. You do not want to miss this episode. Let's dig in.
Hey, bro. So I see you killing it, man, with Kill the Fall. That is pretty dope.
Yeah, we got back. Let me make sure the
There we go.
All right, we good?
All, all good?
Yeah, I believe
Yeah?
so. Yeah.
Dope. Hell yeah.
All right.
It's a process, man.
Yeah, I just didn't have my.
Yeah, dude,
All
well,
right.
it's no bad than I was interviewing, what was it, Clay Mayfield, and his shit just kept falling out. He's got cauliflower ears, and he was like using the little earbuds, and they just it
Oh
kept,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah. That'll fall right out of there, man.
yeah. So give everyone an insight on who you are and what you're doing right now. You got a lot going
Well,
on.
yeah, a little bit, a little bit. My name is Raymond Terry. I own and run RTSC Training Center here in Cleveland, Ohio. We're under Dante Leon and Heath Pedigo, from Pedigo Submission Fighting, and then I'm in the band Kill the Fall. So I've been doing that. Kill the Fall. I was originally in a band called Allergic to Horrors, which was a punk band back, way back in
Yeah.
1999, 1998 it started. So it went from 1998 till about 2002. We were in
Yeah.
that band. We did a bunch of touring. Pretty much all we did was tour. Toured and came back home, wrote music, toured, came back home, wrote music, and then kind of that the whole punk thing. I kind of wanted to venture off into a different style of music, so I started Kill the Fall.
Yeah.
Did that for a few years after, and then kind of retired from music. Just got burnt out really of being
So
14
Kill the
years on the
Fall
road.
is so Kill the Fall is a previous band. You're just kind of resparking it.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah,
okay? Okay.
exactly. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. So Kill the Fall originally started in 2004.
Okay.
So there was like a 2 year period of, I mean, the first thing we released was in 2005, and before 2004, 2005. Before that, it was kind of just like getting the guys together, making sure that different band members were who I wanted it to be, and
Yeah.
then we started writing music, and then we actually released our first split CD with a band called Elephant from New Jersey. That was
Okay.
done in 2004, and
Nice.
then after that, Immortality Through Ashes, the EP was released in 2005. So
Okay.
then we did a full length. We toured a bunch. We did a lot of touring, and then in 2008 we did a full length called The Waiting Process. Did some more touring, but then shortly after that is when I kind of, around 2010, I was just kind of tired of touring, kind of wanted to just get off the road and stop doing that whole music thing. So I retired from music and hung it up.
Yeah.
And then 2018, the band members, Dustin, the drummer for Kill the Fall, kind of got you written that you'd want to get back together and do some stuff. And I said, sure, if it was stress free and like really low key, I would do it. So we did an EP in 2018 just to release it. We did an EP, we did one show, and then that was it. We were done.
Yeah.
And we were done until basically last year, 2023. We started getting things rolling again.
Nice.
Yeah.
So when did you transition to like being an athlete and then start training? Where'd you start at from there?
Well, athletics I did when I was young,
Yeah.
through through middle school, high school, and stuff like that. So I've always loved athletics. I'm a football coach too. So in
Okay.
between all
Nice.
this, I coach varsity football here at Ohio High School, at Rocky River, and
Okay.
then at Berea Mid Park, and then my final stint was at Independence High School, which is in 2022 was my last year that I coached.
Okay. Nice.
So and then right now I'm still working. I'm just working back with Independence with their strength conditioning program,
Yeah.
but at Rocky River, I was a strength and conditioning coach and a varsity football coach. I coached defensive backs there. Came over to Berea at Berea Mid Park, and I coached there for a few years, and then ended up at Independence. I coached wide receivers and
Nice.
defensive backs there as well.
Yeah.
So, but I've always been in athletics. I've always loved
Yeah.
football, played baseball. Those were my two main sports when I was a kid, baseball and football. I wish I wrestled, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Um, but I played those sports, and then I always stayed in shape. Always liked exercising. So when I was on the road, I stayed, in good shape, or best that I
Is
could.
that
And
where a
then when
lot of
I
your knowledge came from? Was like just being on the road and then kind of learning as you go?
Yeah, I mean, I went to school.
Okay.
I went to school for the strength and conditioning side of things.
Yeah.
So I went and went to college for that. And then I also, after I was done with college for the strength and conditioning, I actually went and worked with Nick Curson out in California,
Okay.
who did a lot of work with his company is called Speed of Sport, and they do a lot of the Marinovich program. That's who trained B.J. Penn when he was
Okay.
in his
Yeah.
title round. Yeah.
Nice.
So I worked with him. I got certified with him as well. So that's where all my education comes from. Is from go to college for the strength and conditioning, and then I went out with Nick for a couple of years. I would go back and forth to California, out in Torrance, where he was from. I would spend a couple months out in Torrance. I mean, a couple weeks out in Torrance. Come back home, go back out for a couple weeks. Got a lot of knowledge from him. He's a genius when it comes to strength and conditioning,
Nice.
and that's about it. That's
Hell
where
yeah.
that's where, and then along the way, I was obviously coaching football, so I would go to clinics and pick up some knowledge here and there with that too, and
Yeah.
um, that's basically where I landed when I ended up. I also went to school to be a paramedic.
Okay. Nice.
So
Yeah.
when I graduated from that to be a medic, I got into the field. I was in the field for about 2 weeks, and I hated it. I couldn't stand it. Um, it's just not good pay. You have to see too much like awful things
Yeah.
for the pay, and I just especially when it comes to like dealing with the kids and stuff like that. I just don't want to see that kind of stuff. So I was like, I wanted to do something that I enjoyed doing. I didn't want to get stuck into a career like being a paramedic where I wasn't happy and I
Yeah.
was coming home every day unhappy. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to go into open my own gym, and that's why I opened my gym. And from there, it just built. Always wanted to get into MMA, so I started with that. I started with a guy here named Larry, did my MMA work with him. Eventually, that leads to going to the ground, leads to jiu-jitsu, and the rest is kind of history.
Yeah. So did you start with in just a regular equipment gym and then lead up to MMA, or did it start with MMA
Yeah,
training and you added equipment?
no, it was the strength and conditioning was always first.
Okay.
That's
Nice.
my main thing is strength and conditioning. Originally all my knowledge came from, like I said, I went to school for strength and conditioning. I went
Yeah.
out with Nick, so all my stuff was all based around the strength and conditioning.
Nice.
I sent a lot of worked with a lot of high school athletes to send them to college for sports, swimming, football, wrestling, lacrosse, baseball, basketball, you name it. I've worked with that athlete, getting them ready to go to college and play
Yeah.
college sports. So
Hell yeah, man. That's pretty awesome. So what do you if okay, so if you could choose between like being a super famous magician and that or being the GOAT at sports, what's your passion?
that's pretty even.
Yeah.
Um, more of my passion really is in the coaching aspect of the sports.
Okay.
I really I love coaching. I love watching other people get to their success and reach their goals. It's a big thing for me. Um, I mean, I love winning too. So
Yeah.
yeah,
You like
but
create winners. That's what it sounds like.
yeah, exactly. As far as side of it, it's a lot different, on the music side of it, you're getting that release out of you. You're creating the music, you're writing the lyrics, so it's a good way to get that artistic side out.
Yeah.
So it's just different, I love them both. I don't think I could pick.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I like that answer. I mean,
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. So, what about some of the challenges that you've been facing? Like, even just like the transition between like creating the bands and uh, creating, getting your music out there, and then opening the gym. Like,
Well, the biggest, I mean, the gym, the gym ran off word of mouth, so that was pretty smooth sailing, to be honest with you. Um, it wasn't anything crazy, you know. It was like we just built small. I started with one. I had one athlete, um, and
there we
from
go.
there
I
he was
lost. Hold on.
successful.
I lost
Okay,
you there for like the last probably 30 seconds there. Hold on. One sec. Okay.
we
All right.
back. All
Yes. Yeah. All right.
right.
Cool.
So the gym was pretty smooth sailing. It went from having one athlete, and then it just slowly built into one, two, and then the word of mouth starts, and those athletes have find success. Like my very first athlete was that ran track and played football. He had a very successful track career, went on to play college football, and then from there, the parents talk,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
how did
Wow.
your kid get faster? How do you get so much better at this? And they talk amongst themselves, and then they bring their kids in, and it just builds from there.
Yeah.
Um, the music business is this time around has been challenging. Um, the original. All right, ready?
Yes. All right. So
All
back
right.
into the music industry difficulties.
Oh, okay. Yes, that's where we left off. Um,
Yep.
yeah, basically, so in the beginning of the band, the first time around, it was, I mean, it wasn't easy, but it was, you could do everything on your own. And basically, what you're looking at is make a record, just basically book your own, you can book your own tour. Everything's DIY. I was in a punk band,
Really?
so I could book my own tour, get on the road, play for a few people. Those people love the show, tell their friends, and just build from there. A lot of word of mouth. But the good thing was just make flyers, pass flyers out,
Yeah.
um, promote it that way, and you could do a lot of things on your own. It was very, very simple. Very, just go out, play shows, and build a fan base. Now it's different. Uh,
Yeah. A lot
Everybody
more.
I talk to, they want to know how many Instagram followers you have and how many Spotify followers and how many likes your reels get or views. And so this time around we actually ended up working with a publicist.
Oh, sweet.
It's Jamie, and her company's called For the Win. She's doing amazing stuff, and she's just really navigating everything.
Yeah.
And the good thing that she's doing is she knows my background. She knows that like I'm a DIY, do it yourself, kind of guy. So she's helping me a lot with understanding how to do it. So
Yeah.
once I get a grip on things, I can kind of
Yeah.
take the reins if I need to myself. I'm not just
Yeah.
lost. So it's she's doing great. She's doing great stuff. Uh, get to the places that we need to get and get eyes on us the way it should be.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. I mean, that's kind of how I've learned all my processes is just do it yourself. Man,
Yeah, yeah,
hands on, man, just making the stuff.
yeah.
Um,
But I mean, you got to remember, last time I really was active in booking shows, booking tours, making records, and doing all that type of stuff was 2008.
oh
So
yeah, yeah.
a lot
A
of
lot of
shit's changed.
technologies and stuff.
Like I mean, the music business is a completely different world from 2008 to 2024.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. Yeah, because
Yeah.
you've lived both of them. Like that's crazy.
Hmm.
Both eras of
Yeah.
technology, almost, man.
Yeah. I'm old.
Yeah. How old are you now? It's like
47.
47. Yeah.
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 Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah. So I've been around the block a few times, I guess.
Yeah. So did you end up? What all were you in the bands? Were you the songwriter and vocals and all the fun stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a guitar player, vocalist, and songwriter.
Hell yeah.
So
Dope.
yeah, a little bit of
That's
everything.
pretty awesome because like I personally in high school. would write, and I think I had like a little garage band at one point, but I could never find anybody serious enough to actually pull the trigger on anything. Everyone
Well,
always
not
like,
yeah. That's the key is, you got to find like-minded people to play their instrument, but they have to be able to get on the road, tour, and do all the things necessary to make that dream and that goal happen. You can't just be really good at playing music and playing your instrument and stay at home and do nothing. I know a lot of guys that are a lot better musicians than me, and they didn't have that drive and that discipline to get out there and do what they needed to do to make things happen. It's
no,
just
yeah,
like anything else. It's just like being
it's
an
a
athlete.
sales almost. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
You
You
gotta
just
get
got to
your
be
name out.
disciplined. You got to be
Yeah,
disciplined. You got to wake up every day with the mindset that you have goals to reach and you're going to do whatever it takes that day to get better and reach and get closer to reaching your goals.
yeah. So that's awesome how that transitions like to every aspect of what you're trying to do between
It's just
getting
life,
that bill.
everything.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Legitimately,
just
man.
it's just
Anything.
every aspect of life. If you go through life sitting back and waiting for somebody to hand you something, or if you sit there and wait for something to happen to you, you
It's not gonna
it's
happen.
nothing's going to happen. But if you get out there and start knocking doors down and going after what you want
Yep.
and making what you want happen, you're going to find a lot more success.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, a lot of people even, I think people overthink manifestations sometimes. They think they can sit there and manifest things by thinking about it and dreaming about it. It's not. It's the action that you
You got to
fucking,
do it.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. That
yeah,
consistency will manifest your shit right there.
100%. Yes,
Yeah,
consistency is key to everything. If you just consistently get better every day, even if it's just that, like they say, that 1% better every day, if you
yep,
consistently do that, you will find success.
yeah, absolutely. I
But
love
the
that.
opposite, if you sit around and don't do anything to make yourself better, then
Yeah,
you're not
that's
gonna
what you do. You're
you're
just gonna drown.
one day yeah, one day you'll wake up with a lot of regrets.
Yeah, no, I definitely get that, man. That's crazy. How's your journey as a black belt been? Are you didn't
I'm not a
start?
black belt.
You're not a black belt yet?
No,
Not
no, 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 no.
brown.
Not even close. Yeah, brown. Yeah,
Brown.
yeah,
Okay, well, your
yeah.
journey as a brown belt because you didn't start out under Heath and Pedigo, right? You were under
Correct. I, Dustin Ware, SAS, yes. We were under SAS in the beginning I was with him from basically white belt to purple.
Okay.
Well, white belt, yeah, white belt to purple. Um, and once uh, at a certain point, just my goals started getting a lot different than what their goals were. And it's
Yeah,
really nothing
that
more
makes
than that.
sense.
Me and Dustin are still good and still friends to this day, but
Yeah.
he just had a different path that he wanted to go.
Hmm.
And I had a different journey that I wanted to go. So we made that separation.
Yeah.
Um, I was independent for a little bit, and then really it was just like a no-brainer
Yeah.
to
It
work
goes
with
back to
Dante.
what you were saying. You got to go around people, like-minded people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Those are
And there's
champions.
nobody,
Champions.
there's nobody that works harder than Dante Leon.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
that's
that dude's a killer.
and not just a killer. I mean, that of course he's a killer.
He's
His
a great
jiu-jitsu
dude.
is
Yeah.
amazing, but
Yeah.
his work ethic is second to none. I mean, he's on point with everything he does every day, all day. So it's
He's a
like you
strength and
said,
conditioning coach too, isn't he?
he
Along with everything else.
no, he does the strength and conditioning. He works with Westside Barbell.
Okay.
Um, I don't really. I mean, he runs his stuff through Westside Barbell, and then all his guys work out under him. So like
Yeah.
Max Hansen, Josh Lorton, all those guys work out under, I believe, under Dante, and then Dante's under Westside. And I know they go to Westside at least once or twice a week. So
Yeah.
they're very close with the Westside Barbell guys over in Columbus. So
Nice.
yeah, yeah.
Hell
But
yeah.
his strength conditioning is on point as well. So like I said, everything he does, very disciplined. Everybody over there on his team is the same way. Max Hansen's the same way. Disciplined, consistency, all the things that make somebody a success, they're doing. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what made it a no-brainer for me was that's that's the kind of people I want to be around. You know, I want to be around people that are working hard, being consistent, disciplined, and want to have a high level of success. So
Yeah.
I felt like that was a good fit, and then I felt like, now I want to represent on the mat and in jiu-jitsu and what we do here at RTSC. I want that to represent Dante, Heath, and the rest of the guys at Pedigo.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. That's pretty badass. I mean, they're a pretty damn strong team. So
Yeah. Well, not
respect.
just strong, but it's the unity that is within that team. You know, what I mean, everybody has each other's back, um, and as long as they see you with that logo and the patch, and you're instantly, it's like family.
Yeah.
There's no, everybody's welcome, and that's the
Yeah.
beautiful part about it. Heath is really Heath has really put together an amazing team. Something that, in my opinion, nobody's doing in jiu-jitsu.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
He's doing it, and and then, like I said, Dante just off the charts. Great guy, leads from the front, and really both those guys, anything you need, they have your back, and that's what I love about it. And it's really, in my opinion, it's like one of the only groups, the only teams that run things like an actual team. You know what I mean? Where the white belts are just as valuable as
Yeah.
as,
Yeah.
as a
No,
black
I
belt.
love that. His post, his
Yeah.
words were pretty amazing. That's awesome.
But it's
Yeah.
just not a post. It's just the way it is. You know
No,
what I
no,
mean? It's
no. Yeah.
just, yeah. It's just the way it's. I mean, you see it all over his gyms, all over his affiliates, and that's the way we do things here too. Like
Yeah. I've
our
gotten a
white.
chance to roll in Mount Vernon a handful of times. Like I think when I first started out, I started out under Chad Hawkins, which he's a Pedigo affiliate.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah,
Pedigo. I've been there a handful of times, and it's always just family. Like you come in, it doesn't even matter how long you've been away. It's just like they're shaking hands and ready to
yeah.
roll. Everything. It's great. It's a great environment all around. You know.
100%. Yeah, I
So
agree. I agree. Yeah,
yeah,
and it's the same way over in Toledo with Dante too. It's just,
yeah.
you know, it's
I
just,
think
it's
I've been there
just,
maybe twice with Dante. Maybe had a couple
yeah,
interactions with him. He seems like a really great dude.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
I know Josh pretty well.
Yeah,
We used
for
to,
sure, for sure.
yeah,
He's doing great too. He's
yeah,
been over. He was at Mount Vernon at HQ for a while, and
yep.
now he's actually at in Toledo with Dante. So
That is pretty dope. It's pretty
yeah,
dope. I
yeah.
see he
They're
was
all
back.
out. They're all over at trials right now. A bunch of them.
Where's that at now?
West Coast trials in Vegas.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
How's
They're
everyone
doing.
doing right now?
I haven't. I think everything starts tomorrow. I think the open. I think the opens today, and like Lawson and a few of the kids from Toledo, like the actual youth kids,
Yeah,
are doing the open, and then all the actual trials start tomorrow.
I
So
got you.
yeah,
Did you compete in Pans? Was it last weekend?
yeah, yeah. I did. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that face. How'd you do?
Yeah. I did not the way I wanted to. I lost.
Yeah.
Um, so just got some details to work on to get back to work. And we had 8 guys and girls go, and it was, I mean, everyone did great. Everybody looked great. We had some people win a couple rounds, and some people were out, but everybody showed great improvement. The energy level was high, the effort level was unmatched, and they just a few things, got to come back home and iron out a few details. But I mean, we have a very young team. We
Huh.
had, on that trip, we had 2 white belts and some blue belts that have just got their blue belts, and another blue belt. So it was everybody was blue belts except for myself and Juan is our master's purple
Okay.
belt. So
Nice.
yeah, but it
So
was a
how
fun
do
trip
you?
though.
Yeah, yeah. Where was that at again? It was in Florida.
Florida,
Yeah.
Florida. So
Nice.
three of us, three of us drove down, and then the rest flew in, and we got a Pedigo. Heath got a house, like some big mansion. I had like
Nice. Damn.
literally like I think 20 fucking rooms. It was great. Everyone got to hang out. There was a pool, went to the beach. So it's just a good time. It's always a good time. We travel a lot. We do a lot of these, and we either go to, we're either in Vegas, Texas, or Florida usually.
Yeah.
And it's just always a good time to travel and bond with the team and hang out and that type of thing.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah. How do you schedule everything with like competing, your training, and then now the band, and then running the
it's
gym and everything?
it's a
Do you
lot.
have a routine? Yeah, it is, dude.
Yeah, so I have my calendar, and I always have to double and triple check the
Mhm.
calendar to make sure that nothing's overbooked or double booked, which it has happened. I've had to make a couple last minute changes to my travel arrangements because I've like, oh shit, I I booked one day too late. I got to come back early, and so I got to be here for this or whatever. But
Yeah.
it's getting a little crazier now with the band because before the band wasn't really anything active. It was just kind of sitting on a shelf
Yeah.
doing nothing. Um, Now it's really active. We got a lot of momentum going. People seem to really be into the new single. It's an acoustic single, so it's really catching
Is that the
fire.
one you just posted, or is that
Yeah,
the Breathe?
yeah. Oh, let it breathe. Let it breathe.
Breathe?
The one
Yeah, I
that's
like.
the one that was posted today is an older song. That's from 2018.
Okay,
But the Let It Breathe is the acoustic single that's out now, and it's really catching fire. We're getting a
sounds
lot
good.
of yeah, thank you. It's getting
Yeah,
a lot of good response, and we're getting a lot of we're getting a lot of offers to play shows and do that type of stuff.
nice.
So
Dope.
now that's when it
That's
comes
a
into
good thing.
whole. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
good thing, but it's a whole different entity that's going to be put into my schedule of like, well,
yeah.
how
Because
do I work that?
competitions are on weekends, and then the band is on the weekends. Holy shit, bro.
Right. Yeah. So right now, the first and foremost thing is the gym. Right. We have scheduled tournaments that we do every year, and that's not going to change. So, but the band is just as important to me. So, I'll be booking shows around the tournament schedule. So I already know, in August I'll be at the ADCC championships. Uh, I and then my guys will be doing the Open the day before, so I'll be there for that. I'll be at Master Worlds competing, and I'll have some of my Masters athletes competing as well. And this in April we're doing Chicago Open. So our ADCC Open in Phoenix will be at. So I know these things are here. They've been on the schedule since January. So it's not as hard as you think because it seems hard, but once you have that tournament schedule laid out,
Yeah,
it's hard. Like the good thing about IBJJF and ADCC, their tournament schedule laid out for the year. So
that's
I
true.
know where I'm going to be, right?
Yeah,
So I know where I'm going to be, and now I can just book shows and like anything press related around the band around
see?
that tournament schedule. So it's not that it's it's a lot and it keeps you moving, but I love traveling, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not too
for sure.
bad. Yeah,
Yeah. Do you like to fly or do you like to drive more?
drive.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
very much so.
If I have a choice, I'm going to drive all day. Um, it's just I like to. I feel you're getting acclimated to the time changes easier because you're gradually going into them. You get to see the country, so it's more of a adventure and more of a trip. Um, and I'm used to it. I did it for 14 years. That's all I did for 14 years was get
That's
in a
great.
van with four other dudes and travel around and play music, and that's all I did. So it's not really anything crazy for me.
Yeah,
Um, I hate flying. I hate being in a plane. I hate the whole process of it. So if I can avoid it, I definitely avoid it.
yeah, I feel you. Have you done any cross sea stuff or like in Canada yet?
For the band,
Yeah, yeah.
no, not yet. No, not yet.
Is that
Back in the we did Canada. We played Canada back in the day, but we have not yet done anything with this on this new. I mean, we haven't even since the release. We haven't even played a show yet. So
yeah.
you know,
But you
it's
got plans
it's.
too, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. We have August 24th. We are on a. It's called the Farm Fest. I think it's in I think that's what it's called. I should know this, but it's called the Farm Fest. It's in middle of Ohio. We're doing that festival on August 24th. So I mean that kind of shows the schedule there. I'll be at
Yeah.
Master Worlds one week, and then fly home, fly right back out for ADCC Open and ADCC Championships, and fly back. As soon as I get off a plane, I'll be going to play that show in middle of Ohio somewhere. And then we have some shows lined up with um, a band called New Monarch. We're going to be doing a couple shows with them, and right now that's all I can really say for what we have. There's some other things in the works, but it's not set in stone, so I don't want to put it out there and then if
Yeah.
it not happens, look like a liar.
No, I
So
feel you.
yeah.
I get you, bro. So what about your training? Like between training for your competitions and the band, like songs and stuff. Do you do a lot of rehearsing or anything like that?
Yeah, well, the good thing is it's kind of it's all under one roof, right? So
Yeah.
we some nights I'm training, I'm on the mats, and literally I'm on the mats. I jump in the shower, come out, and my band's here, and we're rehearsing.
Nice.
So it's just it's like it's seamless,
One step.
It's just one. I walk out. If you ever at the gym, you'll see we have this huge open area for the weight room and the mat area, and you open the door into the cardio room, and in the cardio room itself, our gear set up so we practice right there. So
Nice.
it's seamless. I just and literally the shower is right off to the side. So I just come out, boom, shower, come right out, start rehearsing, and we're good to go. Um, and for me, I'm lucky. We have Toledo is only an hour and 20 minutes from here. So
Yeah.
me and my competition guys and girls, we will go out to Toledo once a week to work with Dante and them.
Yeah.
So we go out there once a week to work with them, and then the rest of the week I am blessed to have a room full of amazing um, athletes and people that are doing jiu-jitsu that push us constantly. So even those here that don't compete push, push, and push, and give us great rounds and give us great looks, and it's just an amazing team from top to bottom, whether they compete or not. It's everybody here is just amazing.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean, that's a
I'm
lot.
really blessed to be around and have such a great team in this building,
Yeah. That's pretty awesome, bro. So
for sure, for sure.
how do you keep so disciplined yourself, like, and just keeping that mentality? Because I'm sure, like, there are some times it gets seriously stressful.
It gets stressful for sure. I mean, you just have to have the mindset that like, I won't let something throw me off. It's just I've been that way since I was a kid. I mean, I took Allergic to Horrors, my first band. We were just like three punk kids from Cleveland, and by the end of it, we were on Warp Tour. And it wasn't anything special. It was just a matter of I just every day work something to make myself closer to my goals. And I could, at least one thing a day, if not usually more than one thing. But I would not let myself have a day that I wasn't putting some effort into getting closer to what my goals were as back then as a musician, right?
Yeah.
And it's the same mentality now. I'm not going to let myself get any sidetracked or off track at all for what my goals are as an athlete, as a jiu-jitsu practitioner, and a
Yeah.
gym owner and a coach. The only difference now is I wear a bunch more hats, right? I'm a coach, I'm an athlete, I'm a musician, and I'm a gym owner, a business owner. So yeah, it's a lot harder to juggle all those things, but as long as you're doing something every day to make sure you got closer to whatever the goals are, and you got to have those goals. You have to have big, large goals that could take a couple years. Then you bring down and you have a goal maybe for that year, and then you just keep cycling it down into goals for that day. You know what I mean? And they all work together to end up getting to that major goal that you have of like a 5-year plan or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They all, as long as you're working each goal, if you're working that daily goal, then that's going to help you get closer to that weekly, which will help you get closer to the monthly goal, and then you just build from there. Next thing you know, I mean, I don't know. Next thing you know, you turn around, you have like, I have a gym full of almost 150 people, and
That's awesome, dude.
we're rolling. It's all great people, and there's been mistakes made along the way, as with anything, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But my mentality now is, I want people around me that, first and foremost, that I can get along with, um, and people that are going to be on the same path and want the same things. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be the same goals, but I just want people that have that same drive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we have that here. We have a gym that has a bunch of like-minded people, men and women that are driven, and everybody's journey is different. It's
Yep.
not everybody wants to be a world champion athlete, right? Some people just want to be able to defend their family. Some people just want to be in better shape. Not everybody at this gym does jiu-jitsu either. Some people
Yep.
just want to come here and work out. Some people just want to work out and do boxing. Some people want to do jiu-jitsu just because they like it and it's fun, and they don't want to compete ever.
Yeah.
And then we have some people that want to compete every fucking month, and their goal is to be a world champion.
Yeah.
And but all those people have the same mindset. They want to show up, they want to work hard, and they want to achieve the goal that they have for themselves. So that's
So
what's important. It doesn't have to be the same goal, but the
absolutely.
important part is you want to work for your goal. You don't want it to be handed to you. You want to work for your goal.
Yeah. So what is do you kind of instill that into your people when they sign up? Like what's something you tell someone as they're signing up for your gym or for a class of any kind?
Well, usually what I do is I give a week free trial.
Okay.
So I say, hey, we're not going to make a decision right now. We're just going to say, hey, you come on in. There's no drop-in fee, nothing like that. Just come in, go to the classes that you think you want to go to, and then sometimes where they're in those classes, there's another class going on. They see what's going on there. Maybe they like that, maybe they don't like that, but they have a week's worth of time, maybe 2 weeks, depending. Um, but I give them that time to kind of see how things are done here,
Mhm.
see the intensity level that there is, and see how we go about doing things. And while they're figuring that if it's a fit for them, as a team, we're kind of figuring out if it's a fit for us.
Yeah, of course.
And by the end of a week or two, you kind of know. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You don't have to tell them this big speech of what we do here and blah, blah. They see the work ethic that's being put in, and they either know I want to be a part of that or I don't.
Yeah.
And we can see from them whether they're going to fit with us or not. And then we just make that decision and move on from there. You know what I mean? In the past, um, I've made mistakes in the past. I've had the mindset of everybody's like we got to make this fit for everybody, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
I
come
mean,
to realize it doesn't work. Not every
yeah.
gym's for every person, and that's okay. And this gym doesn't have to be for you,
Yeah.
but we're not going to change the gym just because it doesn't fit you.
Yeah. You're
You
not going
might
to
have to
step
go
on their
somewhere else
shoes.
on your journey.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Clay Mayfield is like, I think that's honestly, I think that's another great reason why you go so well with Pedigo. Because I think that's their whole affiliation, especially with Clay Mayfield. He has a pretty strict criteria on what kind of people he wants in his gym. He just pretty much instills that you're going 100% no matter what. It's not for everyone, and it's okay. That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
100%. Yeah,
Like you, and that's why you kind of transferred over from gym to gym. Like you're like there are some gyms that don't focus on competition or they don't focus on this, like they're just focused on trying to make it for everyone, and that's why, like you
yeah.
said, it's a mistake because eventually they're going to be losing the best kind of people, and they're not going to be able to help the kind of people they want to help, I
Not
think.
only that, but sometimes you run into the problem where you're trying to make it fit for everybody,
Mhm.
and sometimes two people just don't mesh.
Yeah. Yeah.
And along the way of trying to make those two people mesh, whether it's you and somebody else or two other people, you drive yourself fucking crazy. Because you're like, well, why isn't this working? Like, how about maybe sometimes two people just don't have the personalities that are going to get along?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean either person's bad. It doesn't mean either person's right or wrong. Sometimes two people just don't fit. You can't put a square peg in a round hole. And when you try to do that, you'll drive yourself fucking nuts. And you'll end up destroying both, trying to get it fit in there, right? Both things are just getting destroyed trying to make this thing fit, rather than going, hey, maybe this isn't a fit for you.
Yeah.
Maybe go down the street to a different gym or whatever, and everyone's, mentally feels better about things, And,
Yeah.
and like I said, we don't, like you mentioned Clay saying, it's 100% all the time, and all I care about is if you give 100%, it doesn't. The
Doesn't have
biggest
to be
misconception,
the guy next to you kind of thing.
exactly. It doesn't have to be what person A and person B don't have to give the same 100%. It's just your 100%.
Sure.
That's all I care about is, are you giving your best effort? Are you giving your 100%? It might not even be close to the person next to you. They might be the guy that's going every month and trying to win worlds, and you're a mom that's just having fun doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
But if you're giving 100%, you're going to get the same result on your journey as he's going to get on his journey.
Yep.
Now, you're not going to get the same result he gets,
Yeah.
but who gives a shit? You're not trying to.
Yeah.
You don't want to be a world champion. You're trying to raise your family, to learn to defend yourself, and have fun and be in shape.
Yep.
You'll reach all those goals. And he's trying to win worlds and win ADCC. And if he gives 100%, let's hope he gets his goals too. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's what it boils down to. It's not about comparing and competing with each other. It's about just competing against yourself. Give 100% of what you have.
Yeah.
That's how I do things. That's how I've coached football. That's how I've coached in the weight room, and that's how I coach in jiu-jitsu. It's just give 100% of what you can do.
Yeah. That's great. And I think that's, I mean, having that mindset, because then everyone else is still wanting to go that extra 10% if they can, because they see the person next to them going harder.
Exactly.
So it's just kind of, it dominates. Yeah.
And don't get me wrong. Like, I'm going to be hard on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to push you to what you want to get. I know, like, after a while, I start to know what your 100% looks like.
Yep. Yeah.
So if you're not giving it, I'm going to be on you. And some people can't handle that either. But that's the other part.
That would be a good test too, to see if someone's actually made for that, like, champion position. If they can handle hard criticism and someone on their ass like that.
Yeah, and it's not just a champion in the terms that you think of, like going out winning a belt or winning a title. It's champion of your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be the champion of your story.
Yeah.
Be the champion of what you're doing. Be the champion. Be the hero to your kids. Be the champion in your story. And it's just as valuable as, being a champion and getting a world title.
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
I'll tell you right now, your kids, and if you're giving 100% of everything you got, and your kids are looking up to you, and you're their hero, that's they look at you way better than they look at the guy that won a world title.
Yeah, exactly. So. That's what 110%, because the kids, that's what they look up to, is the parents. You're right there, dude. You're right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you better be setting a fucking good example for them.
Yeah, exactly, bro. That's what I'm saying. Everyone's all these parents, man, they're complaining when they are the root cause, quite literally root.
Yeah, exactly. Set the example for your kids, and your kids will turn out pretty fucking good.
Do you have a pretty big kids class?
Yeah. I mean, you remember that.
Yeah.
It hasn't changed.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I mean, all the kids that you remember are now in the adults class, but we have a whole new group of killers, and same mentality, same attitude. You
Kind of just
know,
the evolution's going up.
yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
now the beautiful thing to watch is those kids that you knew,
Yep.
like your
Yep.
Scotty, Alex, all
Yep.
those kids that you remember are now in the adults, but these kids now, like, that's who they look up to. They hear the stories of Carter, or they hear the stories of Gavin, or Scotty, or
That's awesome.
Alex, and they see all the medals on the wall, and they see all this
See their
stuff. So that's
100%.
what they're, yeah, and that's what they're inspiring to be now. And actually, since that group of kids, there's the Jay and the Bens, and those kids that are like in between. They're the teenagers now. And so, like, we have younger kids looking up to them as they looked up to Carter and Gavin and Scotty and Alex and everybody. So it's really fun to watch.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I sit back and I go, man, we really built something special here. You know,
Yeah. That's like
it's
the
pretty
most
cool.
rewarding thing of being a coach, bro. I gotta tell
Oh
you what.
yeah, oh
It's
yeah.
not the rewards. It's not winning the stuff. It's
Nope.
watching your what you created almost.
I'll
Like
tell you that you nailed it, man. So I like I said, I coached football for like 14 years,
that's
and
crazy. I didn't realize that.
yeah, yeah, and up until 2022, 2 years ago, it was when I finally stopped coaching.
Mhm.
But some of the greatest rewards in life are when some of these kids that I coached all the way back in 2012, 2010, back in Rocky River, or some of the kids from Berea Mid Park, those kids coming back to the gym and just stopping in to say hi, and you know
Yeah. Oh,
and the
dude.
funny thing is, like, all the kids now think that I'm, tough on them. I run a tough class, and their
Yeah.
workouts are hard and all that type of stuff. And some of these kids come back and they'll hang out with me and talk to me while the workout's going on, and they're like, "Man, you got
Yeah.
soft." You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because, like,
Yep.
you didn't let us do that, or you didn't let us do this, that type of thing. But it's always great to see those kids come back to the gym and just look at what they've done. Fuck sports. Look what they've done with their life.
There you go.
And to
Yeah.
know to
Good.
know that to hear them say that I played a part in that is so rewarding when they're like now in their careers and doing, they're men. They're grown
Yeah.
adults now, and they're getting ready to get married or have kids and do all this shit. And it's like, man,
You had a part in that. You got,
yeah, you
yeah.
forget when you're doing it. Sometimes you forget how big of a part a coach has for
Yeah.
some of these kids. And some of these kids, don't come, from the greatest background. So, like, sometimes the coach is all they have, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so it's rewarding to know that you played that part and
That's for
watch these
sure.
kids grow up. And some of, like Carter, that fucking kid he worked for me for like in college over in OU, and doing great. You know what I mean? He's just like he's an adult now.
That's
About
fucking
to
sick, bro.
soon
Yeah.
he'll be out of college and have a career and all this other shit. And it's like I
Yeah.
still
He
remember when
has
he
that
was 6.
discipline. Yeah. I
Yeah.
love that.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I remember when him and Gavin and Scotty and Alex were like 6 years old.
Yeah.
Doing jitsu, doing Fuji's.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
for real.
Yeah.
We were ripping-
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. God, it's crazy how time flies, man.
I know.
I bet that makes you feel hella old sometimes when they
It
come in.
does. It does. Yeah. I think it's funny, on a daily basis, I don't feel old. I
You
feel
don't
like I'm
feel,
in pretty,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
I feel like I'm in pretty good shape. Besides some injuries here and there, but I feel like my mind is young, all that. And then all of a sudden someone will refer to a certain point in time and they'll be like, yeah, that was 20 years ago. I'm like,
oh, what?
fuck. Okay, I'm old. Yeah, yeah, fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like, fuck, there's a kid here that we were just talking the other day about when one of my first tours in the band, and he's
yeah.
like, I wasn't even born.
Oh
I'm like,
shit.
yeah, I'm like, oh fuck, yeah, I'm old. I'm out
Yeah,
there touring, I'm seeing the world, and you weren't even born yet. So
yeah.
it gets crazy. Yeah, yeah,
That's awesome. That's awesome, bro.
yeah. But
Ah,
it's fun. As long as your mind stays young and you're
yeah,
still doing what you love to do, you never really get old.
yeah.
You
It's
know.
very true, bro. Hell yeah. I love that, man. So what's tell us what are the future plans between the band, your gym? Yeah, the both. Yeah, your band and the gym.
Well, the gym, just keep growing, keep building the team. Um, we have some guys here, some of our blue belts that are really trying to, this year, go after that Nogi Worlds title and win some big tournaments. So the goal is to keep working with them and getting them
Yeah,
better. We have a whole gym full of white belts and blue belts that are just want to get better at jiu-jitsu.
ready to get
Like
it.
I said, they're on their own journey. So the goal for the gym is to just make everybody healthy, good at jiu-jitsu, solid jiu-jitsu, um, make everybody stronger, make everybody healthier, staying ahead of father time, as they say.
Yeah,
And as far as it just keep growing as a gym, keep doing positive things, keep growing, like we have been all year. Starting January of 2024, we've had the most growth in the gym. It's been crazy how
yeah,
much growth we've had. So that's a good thing. And then as far as the band's concerned, just we have so we have an acoustic EP that's coming out. So we have the Let It Breathe single,
hmm
and there's three more Kill the Fall songs, acoustic songs, and one cover.
okay,
That so that's done. So that
nice.
single's out now. The next single that'll be out will be a song called The Suffering, and that's a heavier song with the full band.
Yeah,
So May 3rd, that comes out. And then after that released, maybe about a month and a half later, the full acoustic EP will come out.
nice.
And then in between all that chunk of time, in between shows, in between tournaments, we're working on recording the full length record.
Hell yeah, bro.
So the full length record is called The Silence of Water. And that will be done and released I don't know a date yet, but sometime before 2024 is over with.
Nice.
So that's
That's
the goal. So I like having that goal because it kind of pushes us to stay in the studio, stay writing, because it's only half written right now. It's still in the writing
gotta
process.
have
But
that goal.
as it's, what's
Keeps you.
that?
Gotta have that
Yeah, it
goal.
keeps you moving, keeps you
Yep.
moving. And we have, half of it written and a third of it recorded. So we're just going to knock out the rest of the recording of the ones we have written while we write some new ones, and just by the end of the year, hopefully have that. Looking for 10 to 12 songs to be done for that record. So,
What is your process in writing? If you don't mind me asking, do you have a process?
uh, it's usually done in separate pieces.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
I write a lot of lyrics, just what I'm feeling, whether it's past issues that I've had, past
Yeah.
situations. I write when I feel those, and
Nice.
then musically, I usually just sit down with a guitar and in a quiet
Yeah.
place, whether it's outside or on a porch or in the bedroom or in the weight room or anywhere, and just write and just
Nice.
whatever comes out. If I like it, it sounds like it's catchy, then
You present it to the band, kind of
that's
thing.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually have most of the song written, and then I present it to the band. And they add their parts. Can you hold on
Okay.
1 second? Hold on
Yeah,
one
yeah,
second.
for sure.
Just wanted to make sure my dog was okay.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. No
Yeah,
worries.
yeah. But yeah, so I usually come on. I usually write the songs. I usually have a full song and the melody and everything written, and then I show it to the band, and then they add their parts. And then usually, I mean, they're so talented. Those guys bring so much to the song that it really changes complete shape to begin
Nice.
with. It's crazy.
So they did. So
Yeah,
the whole band has like kind of little their own part in the songs too, right? Is that what
100%.
you?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So the song structure and everything is there and written by me,
hmm
but they bring in, and sometimes it depends. If the drummer's doing something a certain way, that we're all like, man, that sounds really good. Maybe
hmm
we rearrange something a little bit, but usually the song structures that elements elements to it, and those elements really bring some life, to the song. Because without them, it's just a guitar and vocals. So
Yeah, yeah. It sounds good, man. Like I said,
thank
I
you,
was
thank you.
actually it was fueling my workout today a little bit.
Oh, nice,
Too. Yeah,
nice, good. Hell
pretty
yeah,
cool.
hell yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Uh, so you got any shout outs, bro? That you'd like to let anybody know?
Uh, I mean, obviously, you know, we have the Let It Breathe that's out now.
Hmm.
Um, and we have May 3rd, the single Suffering will be out May 3rd. There's a couple artistic videos that are going to be accompanying both those singles.
Like music videos?
Um, Videos, yeah, like lyrical videos, like some
Oh,
art
yeah.
behind it and stuff like that.
Nice.
So Let It Breathe is out now. For that will be released on April 5th. That'll be out on April 5th.
Okay.
The Suffering will be the teasers for that will probably be starting to get dropped in a week or two, and that'll be out May 3rd. And then a week after the release of that, the video for that will be released as well. Um, and then as far as tours and shows and things like that, just keep always obviously go to at Kill the and all the information will be there. And as far as the gym is concerned, we're just working, training under Dante Leon and the Pedigo team. We're just gonna keep. You'll see us out there. We'll keep hammering away at it, trying to
Hell
get
yeah.
better. Yep.
And then let everyone know where to find you at. Because there's the Kill the Fall on Instagram, and then where
Yeah.
else?
So the gym is RTSC Training Center. So rtsctrainingcenter.com. At RTSC Training Center on Instagram. Then myself, it's at Raymond Terry on Instagram. And then the band is killthefall.net. And then at killthefall on Instagram. So
Sweet.
pretty
Hell yeah.
simple. Yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate your time, man. I know I've taken up
Thank you.
for an hour,
No,
bro.
my pleasure,
Dude.
man. It's good stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm gonna come around, man. I need to come train with you guys.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. And if we're out that way, I'll give you a ring and we'll get some training in.
Dude, that'd be dope, bro. All right,
All right,
man.
man.
You have a
Thank
good
you.
one, bro. Yeah.
All right, have a
Absolutely.
good one. Take it easy.